and welcome to our CEST community webinar. My name is Marina. I'm Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator at Intellias, and I will be the host for today's meeting. Let me briefly tell you a few words about our CEST and how and where we started. And while I'm walking you through the intro, I also invite you to let us know in the chat from which locations you are joining us. I think it will be very interesting to know. This year we conducted our first global SheStack conference where we brought together inspiring women in tech to discuss different topics such as gender equality, career development for women in tech, women empowerment, and many, many others. And also following the conference, we launched the SheStack community on Discord with mostly the members of our conference who really wanted to stay in touch and to have their networking community. And for us, first of all, SheStack community is first of all, a space where women in tech can connect, can support each other, and also can have the safe and inclusive platform, for sharing experiences and useful info, and where we have also our regular meetings. And we are preparing for SheStack conference, second SheStack conference, and we would love to for you to be a part of it. Yes, so we will share the link on our website in the chat. So please join us and become part of our fantastic Women in Tech community if you haven't already. So we are excited to have a very engaging speaker with us today and presenting on a really important and fascinating topic on women in tech as global citizens. So please welcome Letty Mesquita. She graduated in international relations in 2016 and later found her way into technology. Also, she's worked with diverse teams across different continents like North and Latin America, also Asia, Europe, and she's currently creating a Syrian AI, a tool to boost productivity and inclusion for underserved groups. And Letty also mentors and supports migrant women. And so I'm more than sure that you will have questions during the presentation to Letty, so just write them in the chat. And at the end of the webinar, we will have the Q&A session and we'll cover most of your questions. So let's start. Letty, the stage is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Marina. Thank you also for the introduction, and thank you for the all SheStack community for having me here. So today we're talking about a topic, a subject that I'm very passionate about because I've been working technology for 8 years. I did a career transition, as I mentioned. My major is in international relations. And the question people ask me more is, how did you do it? How are you living abroad in another country? What brought you to Colombia first and now to Portugal? So speaking about me, I'm originally from Brazil. I'm 32 now. And 8 years ago, I started this whole journey that has been shaping my character, has been such a great adventure. I've been learning so much and also developing my career, and thankfully to a decision that I took a few years ago. So we have, can we check the next slide, please? I'm not able to move it. Oh yeah, I am. We have agenda for today. I could just move it. I want to introduce a little bit about me and about how I see migration in the world and how we're not alone on this. If you're a woman or a girl, a student that is listening to us right now and you're thinking about migrating to tech, or maybe start an international career, not alone. We're many women. So why tech? Why tech in my case? I studied international relations and I didn't think I was going to change careers so soon as I did. I graduated in 2016 and in 2017 I was already working full-time on my first tech job. My first tech job was not very enthusiastic. I was doing mostly product support, doing support, with some girls who know Plesk, cPanel, and other cloud services, and working directly with the customers. And then I changed areas a little bit. I started as a business analyst and soon a product manager. And senior product manager was my last role while I was a full-time employee. That was very appealing for me because I wanted a career that would help me to go international. This was what tech brought to me, the opportunity to go international. I wanted to move from Brazil, then I moved to Colombia. I'm going to explain a bit how we did. And I think that those might be one of the reasons that you guys are here, to do this career transition or to start an international career. And let's dive into it. Okay, so I hope everyone is checking this image. This is a little bit of my trajectory, my journey to here. So you see, let me see if I'm able to zoom in. This is me in 2016, receiving my diploma from university, me with those two very nice guys that helped me a lot to not follow my career. So yeah, in 2017, I moved to Colombia. Why Colombia? I enrolled in this program called Global Talent from ASEC. ASEC is an NGO. If you don't know it, we can just put the name in the chat after and you can check it. And this program allowed me to move to a new country. They have, a lot of countries you could choose for. You would interview for a job, and then they would offer you a job, like a volunteering job, but also with salaries in order for you to relocate to another country. Mexico, India, and China was also my options. But I realized I loved the Spanish so much and I wanted to go to Colombia. So that was my first option and I got it. I came to Bogota and I started on this technical support job that I was telling you. Colombia was incredible. I really love it. Everyone listen me well? Just to check.
Yes.
Someone was calling. Okay. So in 2017, I started this journey in Colombia. I stayed there until last year. And I changed my status, like from a volunteer, I got a full-time job and I also got another kind of visa. And I stayed in Colombia because my career was progressively immensely. I was very happy there. And then last year, I moved to Portugal in a digital nomad visa. So as a digital nomad, I'm still working to the US. And I changed it in the past few months because I started my entrepreneurship journey as an entrepreneur in tech. And basically, those are the highlights and the facts. Here you can see me, 2023 in Portugal. And that's it. Here I am right now. So when I said we're not alone, I want to bring to your attention some of those facts that you can check on your screen right now. Globally, we are almost 300 million people as migrants of all kinds, men, women, young men, old people, for several reasons. Most of them are male, up to 42%, and 48% are female. But if you are in Europe, like myself, in Europe, we are 51%, almost 52%. It means that the majority of migrants in Europe are women as well. Also in North America, there is a lot of migrants that they're women as well. And this is a little bit, like on how it looks in a global scale. So why is it important to bring those facts? Because, like when you are a migrant and you don't know how many people are in your position, as I didn't know back that. We thought no one were looking for us. I mean, in my first experience, I didn't had a lot of support in cultural terms or to understand if there was, like someone doing something for migrant women. So there is a lot of public policies. At least 4 into 5 countries in Europe, they have some public policy on terms of migrant women, not in technology, but like any kind of migrant women. And this is very important for us in order to go and seek support in any spheres of society. So talking about navigating these career transitions, as I said, my background is in international relations and moving countries. Those two things, they happen very fast for me. So it was 2016, I started to learn some coding, some programming. I was most part, let's say, guided or mentored by my best friend. My best friend was a developer, and he was like, hey, we want just, I want to create a business with you. Maybe you come and you learn some code and you can work with me. But I was working consulting back there, so I didn't know I was going to do a career transition that fast. Moving to another country in the next year was also very, let's say, challenging for me because I didn't know what was expecting. My only expectation was to go international, learn new languages, and I didn't know that technology would be what was going to help me for that. So what I have in common, I put some words here. It's a lot of decisions that you have to do, a lot of planning, when you're changing a career, a lot of preparation in order to take the next step. Some of the characteristics that you have to build resilience, you have to build a lot of plannings into your goals, you have to be more flexible. Those, I think, were the most important things that I wanted to build for my personal growth and my career as well. And also, I think that the most challenging topic for me was in the level of expectations. So maybe some of you are also transitioning careers. And when I started 5 years to get a career in international relations, and I soon told my family that I was going to move from Brazil to Colombia and to get a job in tech, I faced a lot of resistance. They were always, like asking a lot of stuff and maybe, like not giving me too much credit. Like, oh, you studied 5 years international relations and now you're working on tech. Why? You didn't study that? They didn't understand. They were always asking questions if I needed, like to go to college again, how that was going to work, how much they were going to pay me. So I had like this level of expectations for me because for me it was like an adventure going international, but my family, like this, they expected a lot of things. So I would say that in common is the challenges and also, like the benefits that you have is because you're always growing, and someone that is doing, if you're doing a career transition right now, someone that is doing that has to be very proud of themselves because it's not an easy decision. But if you become flexible and resilient, you are going to get there. And Marina, all good?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so this is the C of preparation that you need. You have to face all of that. And so career decisions, I think they're very private, like it's a subject that I cannot decide for yourself. Your family cannot decide for you. My family never could because I wouldn't allow them. So I made my own decisions. And while doing those decisions, and I'm going to talk about skills a little bit further, I would say that the main theme for me was to do something I was good at and I like it. so that I could show everyone else that I was able to accomplish, I was able to do it. And I wasn't more preoccupied or concerned about myself and how I felt about it than other thing else. Of course, you need some preparation, you need to seek information, but if you're going to do something anywhere in the world, Brazil, Colombia, Portugal, like Poland, the UK, and if you trust in yourself, if you have confidence in your skills for transitioning not only from an area but to another country, I'm sure you can do it. I always take this quote that you see on the screen right now as my biggest advice for like career decisions. And as Catherine Whitehorn said, the best career advice to give to the young is find out what you like doing best and get someone to pay you for doing it. Moving next. I don't know if I'm talking too fast. You're able to follow up?
No, I think the question is okay. No worries.
Okay, if you say anything in the comments that is too fast, let me know. Okay, so what I want to bring about those challenges that I told you, I wanted to go more in detail about those challenges that I faced, first as a migrant in Colombia, now as a digital nomad, as things change a little bit. I would say that they have a lot of things in common, so probably I'll start by all the challenges faced by migrant women, what we have in common. And this is the cultural adaptation, the challenges on adapting to a new country, the bias, the recognition of qualification of skills. As I told you, like my family, for instance, was very concerned if they were going to recognize my degree, what I studied. It didn't happen because I was doing career transition, but maybe some women here, like they're already IT engineers in some countries of America planning to go to Europe. And I would say that one of the advantages of this career is that it's mostly non-regulated profession. It means that you don't need to have a college diploma in most of places in order to get your first tech job. This is one of the advantages. I don't know if this is going to change in the future. So if you're not studying yet, you're not enrolled in university courses, just take that into consideration. Like if you already plan to move for a country, check what you need in order to recognize your qualifications. Also, another challenge that was very big for me was to build a network and to find mentors, and the work-life balance and what we have here, which is the support systems, like our close friends, co-workers, people to talk to, friends, communities, places to go. That was very hard in the beginning for me. So as a migrant, when I first moved in Colombia, I would say that the cultural adaptation was a bit more challenging than I thought, because I was thinking, well, we are all in South America, so maybe it would be very easy to adapt to a new country. And that was not, because I would say that all my first months, I was so shocked with the cultural difference, the difference in the food, like how things work in the company I was working for, because it was different hierarchies, that it was very different for me. I mean, I probably a lot of people didn't want it to be my friends, because every time they would ask me like, hey, what is your favorite food? I couldn't say anything nice. I would say like just nothing, or I don't know. I wasn't very curious about, like to understand the culture better. Also for networking, mentorship, by that time, I had some mentors, people that will help me in Brazil, right? But I was working from the office, and working from the office, you don't have like this freedom to attend to a lot of events. So it's very hard to get to know new people, and I have to commute to work. It would be like at least 1 hour a day. 1 or 2 hours a day, so I didn't have a lot of time to go to this. And this sum to I moved from like a local company in Colombia to a Brazilian one. So my support network, people that could help me advance in my career, they were not in Colombia, they were in Brazil. It was very hard to talk to them. We didn't had a lot of Zoom meetings as we do nowadays, back in the time. And so it was very more gradual, and it took me, like maybe more time to get promoted and to get in the next stage because I didn't know where my career was going. Soon, during the pandemic in 2021, I moved from Bogota to Medellin, and there working with a new company that had a lot of international employees, and they have, like some cultural training, and also they have support groups for mentorships. I could, like just progress a lot in my career because I was new people, especially women. I had amazing women that I met in Medellin that helped me with my career. So that was really, I would say, like kind of an upgrade for me because I was working remotely, so I didn't really have to go to office and I could attend to events as well. So I was building my career in a very fast pace, like knowing a lot of people, going to the events, learning new things and new skills, preparing myself. This job invested a lot in certifications. So I was getting new certifications. I had good mentors at work and outside of work. That was very nice. And this experience, all this help that I had and working remotely was what allowed me to move to Portugal last year in a digital nomad visa, like in a digital nomad status. I did a lot of research on that. Of course, I balanced work life. I wanted a country that was safe for me, a country that I wanted to stay long term. And that was easy to get a visa, was not too complicated. So Portugal was my option, but I also had other countries like Spain that I was checking for, but I decided for Portugal. And in Portugal, I think that's having learned so many about this cultural adaptation and working with people from all over the world, it was much easier for me to adapt. I also add here some challenges faced by refugee women. As I said, I am friends and I have like this amazing support group with other migrant women. And some of my friends, they are refugees. They have to flew their home country and moved either to Colombia or either to Portugal or other countries in case we work remotely. So I say that for them, there are other kind of challenges that I do not share. All I can do is just support them because there are some psychological stress, like maybe sometimes they will move in and don't speak the language. I see that for some people. And also what I mentioned before, we are almost, like more than 100 million migrant women. I would say that a good amount of us are working in technology or even working remotely in other industries, and we still have limited access to resources. We don't know how to get information, how to get aid, how to get support. So those are the challenges that I went through and the challenges I see other women facing, and that I wanted to just take a time and reflect about it with everyone that is here in the webinar today. Don't know if we have any questions so far from the chat.
Yeah, we have one question and we can answer at the end or now. I can just a second, I will read it. From Maya, we've got the next question. How do you think the perception of migrant women has changed in recent years? Have you noticed any differences or progress?
Yeah. Well, I think the perception and the bias, we still have a lot to fight in order, like for governments and people in the public space to recognize and more and to do more for us. But in sense of the companies, like in the private space, I feel that a lot of companies have inclusion policies for that. They are trying to help us, like to get access to more opportunities overall. So I see this changing. And in technology, as there is so many very, educated people, I think this is better than other industries because we're also fighting inclusion for women as well to take our space in this field. So I see it improving, but it's like a big work to do.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your insights, and that's really an interesting perspective. And I agree that, especially in IT companies, yeah, we have really huge changes for last years. Another one question from Sophia. Not in professionals life only, but I'm a migrant woman, and overcoming imposter syndrome is a big challenge for me right now. Do you have any advice on how I can deal with it?
Oh, yeah. I still have imposter syndrome. This never disappears. So it's just like a shadow that you have to work with. And what I do is just, like talk to my support group, talk to other women because I know I cannot give myself the validation that I need. So usually when I have any episodes that I feel like I have imposter syndrome, like I cannot do this work or maybe I'm not good, I will just talk to supportive women that will tell me, look, you're good, you have done a lot so far. So I would say count on your support group. Have other women that you help highlight to them the best, like the best thing about them, and they would do it in exchange for you as well.
Thanks. Yeah, I think we can proceed with the presentation. And
Perfect. So what I want to talk about, and it comes with the first question from Maya, how organization can help us? How can organizations, like improve the integration, the visibility of migrant women in tech or anywhere? So the first thing is access to resources. Like if you're talking to, if you're here in this webinar, listening to us and you are from, like you're an executive, you're from HR or you're from public sector, help us get access, ensure that migrant women have access to essential resources, legal aid, healthcare, social services, anything that is vital for them, for their families. Companies and other kind of organizations, they can also partnership with local organizations that are specialized in these areas. There are plenty of organizations for migrant women and also for inclusion and diversity. And support us removing those barriers for the necessary services. So we're talking about health service, social security, everything that is very pillar to us. I would say the second one is language support. Like when I moved to Colombia, I already had some Spanish. I would say maybe I was like a B1 or B2, an intermediate level. And I didn't get any language support for the organizations I work with until 2021. And that helped me a lot. I had Spanish classes and also English classes. That helped so much to overcome fear, like when speaking in public settings, speaking Spanish, especially speaking with stakeholders. So language is very beneficial. I know that, for instance, Portugal has a program for migrants that don't speak Portuguese to learn it. They have access to free classes. If you're working for a company that can also do that for you, or if you're looking for a job and you see company has it on the benefit package, this is awesome. This is, like a huge thumbs up for the company. Also, inclusive policies. We have to just grab attention from the organizations to develop and implement policies specifically addressed to migrant women, our needs, like anti-discrimination measures, flexible work arrangements, because many of us have family, and ensure that we are treated fairly and equally within the organization as well. And least but not least, and I could add, like many ways the organizations can help us, I would say, from mentorship programs, because it really changed my life when I had, like mentorship inside of work from the company I work for, is to establish mentorship or buddy systems programs, to at least have someone that support us, or like some space for us to do some networking, to get to know, to get to be knowing, and to build valuable connections. This will be the first. So, and if we have any questions for you too, please let me know.
Yeah, of course. I will let you know.
Yeah. So basically are these, maybe if you have anything that you think that could help us, like to build this better inclusive place and more diversity in the workplace for women, you can just add in the chat. I would love to read after the webinar. But I think for me, and based on my personal experience on my journey, those four are very pillar. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the skills, like one of the takeaways from this webinar as promoted is to just talk about what were the skills that helped me to do my career transition, and also, like to work internationally as I always dreamed of. And you see, well, in the screen, at least you, Marina, you see those three. I don't know if it's blurred or something.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, those three circles, they basically, for you guys to understand, they are showing three things. So on the right side, this is your area skills, right? This is the area you came from in case you are not from IT. You have another one like this. On the left side is tech skills, like skills that are important for this industry. Maybe it will change from role to role. And, like if you're in fintech, it will be a different set of skills. If you are a developer, or if you are a product manager or business analyst, your tech skills will be slightly different. But let's say that they are different kind of skills for that as well. So, and in the middle, we have the transferable skills. And I'm going to show soon how those three they merge together in order for you to understand what are the skills that we do need to focus in order to succeed or to have like a smoothly transition into a global tech environment. Moving on. This is how it looked for me in my case. So here on the right side, those are the skills that I developed through going to college when I went to university. So these are related to international relations. Maybe your major is different from mine if you're also transitioning. Here are some tech skills, and here are my transferable skills. The skills that I had, that I built, like over my internships, my training, the works that I had, and also my college graduation, that helped me to keep relevant, not only for IT, but for any industry. So here, and you guys can do this exercise, I can send you a link, or you can screenshot this image to do it after the webinar. Here are the skills that I had that helped me to transition for technology, and I'm sure could help me to transition to another area as well. So some like networking, English or other language skills, strategic thinking, writing, communication, ethics, integrity. Those are all part of my career, and I transfer those to my skill set in technology as well. Also, analysis, research, negotiation, data, problem solving, stakeholder management. Those are very important skills in technology, and that people can bring in from other areas as well. That I strongly recommend you guys not only to build those skills, maybe those skills are not as relevant for you as it was for me as a business analyst and then product manager. Maybe you're a developer, a data scientist, like a machine learning engineer, AI engineer, but focus on those transferable skills. Focus on the skills. They are the most essential skills that can be transferred across industry and roles. It doesn't matter the role that you have, like if you are a junior and if you are a leader, strategic thinking, good communication, they will always be transferable skills. Just do this exercise, look at your own skills, look at the skills that are needed in order to perform your work, and always focus on first building those transferable skills. Of course, you have to learn new programming languages, maybe some frameworks. You always have to do that. But we know frameworks are always changing. Languages are always changing. Few years ago, maybe Python was the best next thing, was the best language to learn. Right now, maybe it's not. So focus on the transferable skills, the ones that will allow you to always transfer them to the next role, to the next challenge, to the next opportunity, because this is the nature of technology. Technology is a dynamic and evolving field. So this, I think, is my main takeaway from this webinar, is to work on yourself and focus on getting these transferable skills done and recognizing what you need. That was very pillar for me. I don't know if there is any questions related to skills.
Related, no, but we have another two questions. I can read them if you want.
Oh yeah, of course. Let's read this one, and then we continue to the presentation. We open for the Q&A at the end.
Yeah, we can leave these two questions to the end, of the presentation
Okay.
with Q&A.
Yeah, so that would be perfect if any of you, like have more questions about those transferable skills and you still are in doubt or you don't know, like how to recognize your transferable skills, you can use this, like this framework that I put here and just try to build on your own. If you have any doubts, you just can ask me. I will share with you my social network after. And so this for me is like the most elemental thing. It's just identify and work in your transferable skills. And yeah, so finally, I think I have a lot of experiences and anecdotes by finding mentors and also, like trying to always strive and always be more successful. I also had a lot of ambition, probably more when I was a junior in this career because I wanted to learn the word. And I have some personal strategies in order to adapt myself to new environments and also to career transitions that I probably will do in the future as well. I think the first of them is finding mentors. Right now that I work remotely, I love going to tech events. Probably many of you already talk remotely or already are working remotely. I'm not sure. Maybe you can tell us in the comments if you're working remotely as well. And when I started going to the events, I had like a lot of expectations. I saw incredible women that I wanted to talk to, and I was just, like after the event on the networking tables, trying to talk to them. And I realized that it was very difficult because when you go to the events, there is like maybe this competition, like there is, someone, there is a really good speaker in the event, and there is like a queue of 10 people that want to talk to them. And I think it's not that easy, not like the best place to find mentors. It's still a good place, but probably, like there are more people trying the same strategy. What I would say is look for environments where you can have meaningful one-on-one interactions. So when you're looking for a tech event or something to find new mentors, try those ones that are more, like research-based, maybe are more not only for networking, where you can talk to people, also try to go to other kind of events like hackathons or some business presentations, circles with when women talk or discuss about any kind of entrepreneurship or ventures. Those places that are few people are better for meaningful one-on-one interactions. This is my first personal strategy when finding mentors. Also for networking, the same. It doesn't only happen at those tech events. If right now you cannot just leave your place to go attend to all the nice events that we have right now for women, I would say engage in activities that you enjoy as well, like sports, groups, hangouts, classes. I did incredible networking by going to events like in yoga, on other things that I like or I was curious about, because we tech women, we are everywhere. Many of us are remote. So we're doing plenty of activities outside of work. And I met incredible professionals by doing that. By even going play games at bars, I will meet some incredible women that help me and are helping me on my business right now. And also, those places that are not networking events, you don't feel that you have to network and to wait to talk to someone else, so they have less pressure of outcome. You just are going to have fun, to enjoy yourself and to do an activity that you like, and it will happen that eventually you're going to meet people that work in your field as well, and that has been working awesomely for me. Well, adapting. A good tip for adapting. Adapting, I think it only happens when you have at least a close support group. You don't have to know many people to adapt to the new culture. But you have to experience the local groups, also global people from other parts and other countries. They're going to help you as well. So start adapting by finding those groups that can help you, whether they are online or offline. But always do that when you are looking for a new group. Look on the level of affinity that you have with the people, the openness to receive new people. You see that some groups are more closed, some are more open, and we want to look for groups that are more open and more receptive for women or people in general. And how comfortable they make you feel. Like, stay on the groups that make you feel seen, comfortable, that just you feel, like that you are being supported. Those are the people that will guide you through adapting yourself to new circumstances, like they are the people that if you're comfortable enough with them, you can ask those difficult questions about some things that you don't understand about the culture. And finally, they are the ones that will help you a lot and adapt if something, like to work this way or that way. And that has been helping me a lot as well. And also, one of the two last things that I want to touch real quick about my personal strategies is be yourself, be authentic. Like, if you don't have a support group yet, maybe you have a few friends, or maybe you're very afraid of not making friends in this country you're moving to, always think about being yourself, embracing, showcasing your authenticity, how diverse and unique you are, independently of your background, where you come from, your age, or like anything related to you. Always be this curious, authentic self, and try to create impact, like what we're doing today, you know, like from the with the girls from this community from CEST is this: we're creating impact. We're using my experience. They are giving me the space to share my experience with other people. As I said in the beginning, there are like not so many people I can reach when I talk one-to-one. As this opportunity to have this webinar and just talk to you about creating impact and supporting other people, other professionals in the field. Because lately, what you give back to your community is what is really developing that community. And yes, talking about, probably there will be some questions about that. I talk a lot about groups, offline and online groups. I would just talk to you a little bit about my 3 favorite groups that I have right now. So my favorite group for community support, networking, inclusion is CEST. The focus is women technology and helping us to feel included, and also help us think about diversity and equity in the work environment as well. Also, another group that I like a lot is the Girl Gone International. This group, Girl Gone International, is a Facebook group. So there are plenty of Facebook groups for this organization called Girl Gone International. If you're in Porto or in Lisboa, you can just type on Facebook, Lisboa, Lisbon Girl Gone International, Porto Girl Gone International. If you're in London as well, they are there, in Paris or any other cities in Europe. They are also in South America. You can just, like add the city name, and Girl Gone International. I had plenty of friends from this group. You basically introduce yourself. They have a lot of shared activities as well. They have events and meetups where you can integrate with local people and also other migrant and expat women in your region. And you can attend to the events to other places as well. I like it because it's for free, and they also have like a strong sense of building a community for women and to women. This is one that I recommend as well. And also for the tech events, there is those meetups, like organized communities. Inside of meetups, there are not only events, but communities as well, where you can just go. For instance, I'm part of the data science community in Porto. I subscribe to the events and I get the list of all the events, talks that they are doing. They're excellent communities for, like discussing topics around UX, UI as well, programming, cloud, and other kind of technologies. Those are very interesting. I always try to attend those as well. So go there, find your community. Doesn't matter your seniority as well. You are going to find very suitable events for you in your region. And if you happen to, like not be in Europe or other places that those are great, even if they are huge, you always can, like subscribe to CEST and be part of the events like this that are prepared from us, women from the community, to you as well. And time for questions.
Thank you. Yeah, we have several questions. So yeah, let's start. We have the question from Anka. As I am just starting to explore positions in tech, what advice would you give me to help succeed in this field?
Exactly. So what I understand is that you're a junior, you're just looking for positions. Focus on your transferable skills. Look, the experience you have, your education, or the things that you're good at. Just go back to that framework, understand what you're good at, and that is going to help you most to get your next role in tech.
Thank you. I think it was really valuable advice. The next one, I like this question. In your opinion, how crucial are ERG, it's kind of employer resource groups in companies, particularly those that support women, migrants, and other diverse groups. You mentioned several times, that the power of community, about the power of community here during your presentation, and how migrant women also helped you and supported in the most challenging period in your life. So I think it's really an interesting question.
That's true. I understand what she said, but can you repeat the question, Marina?
Yeah, of course. Just a second. I will repeat it. In your opinion, how crucial communities in companies, like employer resource groups in companies, uh, is important? Yeah, particularly those that support women, migrants, and other diverse groups.
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, they are very relevant for that. They are the ones that will help us, like go through all these changes more smoothly. So I think if we want to create the next group, like by tomorrow to help someone locally in our city, the migrant women on that, I will do that. I'm always trying to mentor and support. And lately, when we create communities like ours here, we're giving visibility to the causes, and we're also understanding what are the challenges for these women, maybe some questions that are being overlooked, that governments are not doing anything about, and we have a voice. So this very pillar community is the most important thing for migrant women, and it always been for women, like anywhere in the country of origin, is always women supporting women. So I see those communities and groups led by us are the most important thing in order for us to succeed in our cause, by looking after being included and being heard and supported.
Thank you. Another one question from Sophia. I have a serious case of FOMO. Working remotely makes me feel like I'm missing out by staying in my hometown. I think it's not a question, but yeah, it's sharing experience. And the whole world is open to me, but doubts and fears keep me stuck. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if your hometown, maybe you're not able to find good events, or they're like just, I would say, any kind of places for you to go and to share with other women. But I would strongly advise you to start online. There's so many amazing groups that you can be part of if you just want to hang out and just get to know other like individuals, other women, like they want to create and be creative and they love their work. Just go engage with them. Go look for online groups as well. And I mean, that happened to me as well. I said I was much more, like I had this fear of missing out and was ambitious when I was younger. And that passed a little bit as I started to have more clarity on the path I wanted to go. But just go and engage and keep on doing online if you cannot travel right now.
And one more comment, like Lauren, being a migrant woman in tech area, no family, kids, it's a hard journey that never ends, and you're all the time trying to fit, adapt, make new friends.
Wow, exactly. This is a journey that is never going to end. I totally agree with her. Probably, like you migrate to a country, you have kids, maybe grandkids, and you still feel a migrant. That's a very thoughtful comment.
Yeah, hard journey. Absolutely. Agree. So I think it's all questions for today. I think it was the last question, yeah, we can discuss. And also our meeting time is up. So thanks a lot for being here and taking part in our webinar. And Letty, thank you once again for your informative presentation and for taking the time to answer all questions.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Here's the QR code you can scan to just connect with me with any social media. If you have any questions you didn't add to the comments, please let me know. I'd love to help you in any ways I can. And thank you, CEST. Thank you, Marina, Olga, and everyone for having me.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for your participation, and also remember to join our CEST community to continue the conversation and stay updated on future events. So looking forward to see you again soon. So bye. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you very much.